mention my ambition to be an engineer, most people, not all though, either appear horrified or amused at the idea. Their objections fall under two heads, both based upon the assumption of the drawbacks involved in having the misfortune to be created a woman. I've been trying to analyze my capacity for engineering. The first requisite for success is interest, and I have that. Engineering fires my imagination. It satisfies my demand for the combination of physical with mental work. It affords a broad and useful means for the application of my beloved studies of mathematics and the sciences. There is no doubt as to my ability to do this college work in engineering. As a teenager in early 20th century America, Goldie Back wanted to be an engineer. She graduated from high school in 1917 and received a full scholarship to study at the University of Pennsylvania. However, a major in engineering was not available to women, so instead she majored in education with a specialty in teaching science. Goldie wanted to build bridges, and though her career would take her from Westinghouse to the National Bureau of Standards, and she eventually earned a master's degree in mathematics, her professional career ended in 1930. Goldie never designed her bridge. Throughout the 20th century, women have increasingly pursued degrees in science, engineering, and mathematics. Each decade opened more doors to everyone pursuing advanced degrees, but the reality is that there's still a significant gap. Women are earning these highly sought-after degrees in record numbers, but for most, a degree in one of these fields ends at the undergraduate level. Now, the 21st century brings us new challenges, and Forward in SEM, a joint project at the George Washington and Gallaudet universities, bridges the gaps for students, helping them meet the demands of today's vast technical and research fields. Forward in Science, Engineering, and Math encourages women, minorities, and students with disabilities to pursue advanced degrees in graduate science and engineering programs. Funded by the National Science Foundation's Program for Gender Equity, Forward prepares and motivates students for successful transitions to graduate school.
Why did we do Forward in SEM? Looking at the research, looking at our own experience, looking around on our own campus, we know that women and certain populations are not well represented in science, engineering, and math. On the other hand, we've all come through this project and we feel pretty passionate about our careers in science and in engineering. So we wanted to provide an environment that supported women and underrepresented groups in their pursuit of science or engineering.
Forward activities encourage students to apply to graduate school and detail the ingredients necessary for successful applications. They're designed to address the issues students encounter when making the decision to further their studies.
Before I went to the workshop, through your undergraduate years, you know that you're faced with this challenge of going to grad school or deciding what you want to do with your life now that you have this degree. By my attending the Forward workshop, it really helped me to develop a plan of attack. It focused, it honed in on the areas that I needed to. What do I need to do to get this done? It helped me develop a task list. I mean, I wish everyone could have the experience that I did to help them, you know, in their pursuits to grad school.
The Forward in SEM workshops were designed to enable women and underrepresented groups to address all the issues about what does it mean to go to graduate school. How do I find a graduate school? What tests do I need to take? What's it going to be like when I get there? How do I get to an interview? What materials do I need to be saving to build a resume? So the weekend workshop addressed these, as well as introducing women and underrepresented groups who were thinking of going to graduate school with people like themselves who had already made that bridge.
The workshops take place on the campus of Gallaudet University, the nation's only university dedicated to the deaf and hard of hearing. Held annually in the fall and spring, these gatherings are for sharing information and concerns and for finding out about other opportunities.
I remember when I had a year or two left as an undergraduate and I still hadn't declared my major. I thought it would probably be in math or chemistry. I really didn't have any idea what I wanted to do after graduation because I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted something in a math or science environment.
Susan Chin has been deaf since she was an infant, and her problems communicating made Susan less confident about her skills and abilities. The workshops provided an opportunity for Susan to seek guidance, share her problems, and work among supportive groups.
Forward was developed especially for people like Susan Chin. Susan had a variety of experiences before I met her. She had gone to a hearing institution and found that there were difficulties with interpreters. Once she was here, we tried to place her with internships, and often it's difficult to get internship placement if a supervisor knows that they're going to have to pay not only the student but pay for an interpreter as well. And so there were issues that were coming up that were specific to the deaf community that needed to be addressed.
If the Forward program wasn't there, I don't know if I ever would have thought about continuing on to graduate school. I doubt it. However, with the Forward program, I received a lot of help. Before the program was established, I had concerns about my GRE score, that it would be too low. This is common for deaf and other non-native users of English. If someone who didn't know about the issues of deafness reviewed these scores, my application might be rejected. Forward in SEM was a perfect fit because it provided answers to all of these concerns.
The workshop was developed to address issues that people had concerning going into graduate school, and it was to be very open, hearing and deaf students. For the first year, we had a very small-scale workshop, and what we found was that some of the issues were very common. People didn't know what to put into their applications. They didn't know where to apply. They didn't understand the financial aid situations that they were going to be faced with going on to graduate school. Would they get stipends? Would they get research assistantships, and so forth? And throughout the 4 years of the projects, we really found that the students' capabilities were increasing as much as a result of building confidence in their abilities to write and express themselves and take tests, as it was to actually developing new content or better skills in those areas.
Forward workshops offer the chance to hear valuable advice and the personal stories from those who already have established careers.
Her husband became a complement to her lifestyle and helped her accomplish certain goals. My case was very different, and like she said, if you want details, you can ask me outside. But it started becoming a problem. It started getting complaints about, oh, you're spending too much time on the computer, or you're spending too much time at school, and things like that. And it comes to a point where I have to make a decision. What is more important for me? My education and my degree, which are going to stay with me for the rest of my life.
Forward in SEM provides everyone an opportunity to pursue their interest in graduate school, even those whose paths have been somewhat non-traditional.
In 1997, I decided, after a 15-year career as a clinical psychologist, to pursue a degree in chiropractic science, chiropractic medicine. On my way to chiropractic schools, I was told that I needed to have several years or several semesters of chemistry as well as physics. And I decided to go back to my alma mater to do that, and kicking and screaming, took those classes, and within a few months decided that chemistry really is kind of neat. And I stuck around and took more classes and deferred chiropractic admission and took more chemistry, and before I knew it, I had a degree in chemistry. And the summer of 1999 was really an exciting summer for me. That was the summer that I did my research grant with Forward, using the Forward grant money. And it was toward the middle of the summer that I realized that being a chiropractor was just not in my future, that it was certainly in chemistry. And although my applications went out very late, I did apply to graduate school as a direct result of my grant, of my research.
The Forward Research Competition is designed exclusively for women in their first year of graduate studies. The competition requires research proposals on topics defined by a research mentor. The selected students engage in funded summer research experiences of their own design to study their proposed topic. Winners of the research competition work in collaboration with their university or research facilities, such as the National Institute of Standards and Technology.
Well, what was interesting about the Forward program was that it required independent research. I also, being here in Frederick, had many opportunities to network with impressive people. And from there, I put together a proposal. So I had the benefit of doing my research at Hood under the mentorship of my undergraduate advisor, but also collaborating with the coordinator at the Secret Service down in Washington.
Although the competition is supported by mentors in the field, students work independently, and their participation in the competition provides them with the skills and confidence necessary to succeed.
At first, I was excited about writing the research proposal for the competition. It was the first time I wrote something like this from scratch. I tried to fit it in with chemistry instruments and HPLC. I thought, why not focus on analyzing water in the Anacostia River?
Applicants specify the hypothesis, procedures, data collection, and analysis. And finally, the competition provides opportunities to publish research early in their graduate careers.
Even though I had taken courses and written proposals as part of lab experiments, this was different for me. It was different because I had to start from scratch. It wasn't a lab where everything was set up and you're told, here, do it. I had to figure out how to start, which chemicals to use. They don't teach you that. I had to figure it out for myself. There wasn't a teacher there to tell you what you're going to need. It was like, wow, I had to do it all myself. I got a taste of what it would be like doing research in graduate school. I had to figure it out myself. It was an incredible experience for me.
Whether it's a traditional or non-traditional road to graduate school, Forward in SEM provides comprehensive and holistic support to ensure students become acclimated to the technical world. Forward in SEM helps them gain the confidence necessary to be female scientists of the 21st century. In cooperation with the George Washington and Gallaudet universities are institutions such as Smith College, Hood College, Hampton University, and the National Technical Institute for the Deaf. What can your school do?
I surely hope by now you're saying, how do we bring a project like Forward in SEM to our own campus? You have to know that Forward in SEM was sponsored by the National Science Foundation, and therefore all of the materials that were generated in this program over the years are available for you. They're available either directly from us or through our website. But you don't have to do all of Forward in SEM on your campus. Any one of the features can be brought to your campus. I don't think the issue is that you have to do them all. I think the issue is you have to do something.
For more information on starting a program like Forward at your college or university, check our website at www.seas.gwu.edu/forward. Forward in SEM has enabled students who participate to become well-rounded scientists, engineers, and mathematicians. They've become equipped with the skills and confidence necessary for the new century.
There are times when I think I'm turning gray, but I feel okay about it. I feel really good about it. I don't think that there's anything in my life that I would want to do differently or more than I want this degree. And I really love chemistry. I found a love for chemistry that I never had before, that I never thought existed. And although I had a career as a psychologist, my enthusiasm for psychology comes nowhere near my enthusiasm for chemistry. The department at Hood has done an exceptional job at that. And I think that in conjunction with the Forward grant, that I am a female scientist. I am a woman who is practicing science in the modern age of science and technology.